Hello Scorpio, welcome back to the Lucky Tarot. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So we're going to be doing things quite differently today. I'm going to be doing some bonus messages, additional messages from your spirit guides, but please bear in mind whatever comes up here could be career, your personal life, or your relationship. These are all general messages, and I just want to have a more soulful one-on-one connection with you all. And so this is my way of giving back because you guys have been very, very wonderful. Thank you for all the likes, shares, views, subscriptions. You guys are amazing. And I just want to discuss a few things. So grab a coffee, drink, or whatever, if it's tea, whatever you want to drink, and let's discuss a few things, okay? I'm actually going to be using several decks, but we're going to be starting off with my favorite oracle deck, which is the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. So this is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. Oops, whoa, a lot of cards. I'm gonna be getting this. So the focus for you guys for the month of May, I feel first is, I feel like we got similar from your weekly reading, right? And I swear I have shuffled this card. So we have No Place Like Home. It's coming up once again. And we also have a leg up. So I feel like the month of May, the focus really is building stability, right? It's building a sense of home. Reason why I said sense of home, because I see that you guys are really living and hustling, right? For your dream life, for that dream home, for that dream work or dream relationship, whatever it is. I see that there's work and hustle and very focused on manifesting comfort in all around you, all areas of your life. So this month is all about teamwork as well, letting people help you out, letting people give you the support that you need, or that you could be doing this to the ones that you love. And again, providing that sense of home, that sense of stability and security. I feel like most of you, you're going to be really around family members who needs your support, be it physical support, financial support. All right, so you're going to be present around people that need you. But there's also that essence of being rooted of what really do you stand for, Scorpio? What is it that you want to achieve in life? If you're like lost and confused as to how you're going to go about May, I feel like the spirit, the guidance here is go back to your roots. Or like if you feel like you need comfort from all the work that you're doing here, or that you maybe are feeling alone, right? There are people here since day one, like family members and friends who look at you as family that you can really rely on, right? So we're gonna look into what are the possible obstacles that Scorpio need to overcome for the month of May. Whoa, and we have change in the wind. Happy, happy. All right, so here's what I see, Scorpio. You guys are going to be happy this month of May, a lot of happiness, but there needs to be some decision making, a change in the wind. Say for example, all right, and this is what I see. These are just for specific, all right, Scorpios. If you feel like, you know, you've been sticking it out with a person, this could be a relationship where you keep going back to, you keep on, maybe it's an on and off relationship for some of you, and though there's that kind of security, though there's that kind of familiarity, you want to break free somehow from too much dependency on this, because it feels like you want to outgrow this, right? I'm not saying, okay, Scorpio, I'm not saying that you leave that relationship, but for those of you who feel emotionally unsatisfied, or like, you know, someone is not good for you, that there's issues here regarding maybe violence, something like that in the work or in the home, I mean home setting, you know, you're not being treated right. If that is the case, and you feel like you're not able to break away from that because this person needs you, or that you're obliged to provide, you're obliged to be there, with a change in the wind, the only person that can free yourself from that state is you. So a change in the wind, these are certain energies coming in May, whether you see it or not, that's going to allow you to pursue a different path, a different decision, one that is completely different from what you initially set your mind into. So all of this is going to happen in the month of May, and as a challenge, sometimes we know that we need to decide on a certain thing, you know, we need to pursue something else, because what this is just familiar. It's going around in circle, and we still feel like we're not emotionally satisfied. But then if you want to be happy, and happiness is indeed a pursuit, right? It's a state of emotional and mental decision. And so whether you believe it or not, Scorpio, it's a mental and emotional decision. Happiness, right? If you want to be happy, you have to pursue it. So that means a change in the wind. If you're not so satisfied and content with your current situation, do not be hasty to make that decision. But if you feel like you already know you need to, and you've been dragging it a bit, well, the universe is going to bring forward energies this month of May that's going to help you steer towards that direction, towards your happiness. Also, if that happiness is all about coming home, right? Coming home, if that is the case, and allowing people to help you sort out your life, right? Or to sort out certain issues you may be dealing with alone for quite some time now, well, maybe that is the change in the wind. Maybe that is where your happiness is at. And you would know if you pay close attention to your intuition. But there's a lot of channeling energies towards going within that sense of home. It could also be internally at home with yourself, if you know what I mean. Too much interdependence can actually make you lose your self-identity, even though I'm not saying to stop helping people out, but if you feel like your identity is quite, you know, I don't want to say step down, but because you tend to put other people's first, if there's imbalance in that situation, maybe now is the time to seek your own happiness as well. What about you, Scorpio? Are you still happy with what you do? Because at the end of the day, if you're not happy, whether you're helping people or you're not, there's going to be that draining energy that's going to wrap around you this month of May if you don't, you know, if your heart is not into it. Essentially, if you're not happy with what you're doing, right? So we're going to now get some animal cards. I'm going to pull up some cards for you guys. But really, the words that are coming in right now is happiness is a pursuit, my dear Scorpio. Whether you decide on this or not, the universe is actually going to help you out, you know, make some space in your life to actually contemplate on where your happiness is. And you're the captain of your life, so you can steer this in every direction that you want at any time. Don't be compelled to be stuck in a situation where you feel you're obliged, right? Especially if you're compromising your happiness because of other people. So I feel like the lesson here is boundaries, healthy boundaries, right? Putting your foot down. So animal spirit, please, for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. We have the crow. So this crow to me talks about tapping into your intuition, all right? And oftentimes your intuition asks you to be silent so that you can cancel out noises in the environment that may distract you from the decision that you should know that you would take, right? So with the crow, this month of May, you will benefit a lot from observing. You will benefit a lot from contemplation. Do not be too quick on making that decision. But if you feel like the opportunity is coming, grab it. Look at that with the crow. Grab that opportunity. The crow, the image right here is very beautiful. There's a lot of beauty and color and vibrancy, and I feel like that is life, right? Wanting to bring color into this crow. So grab that opportunity when it happens, and know when the right time comes that you need to grab it, okay? By using your intuition. Very similar colors to the balloons over here. Grab it. Also, there's a message that says here, if there are people in your environment that seems to be weighing you guys down, because I feel that kind of energy, weighing you down because maybe you're obliged to do it, right? And you're afraid to put people down or like disappoint them. I feel like with the crow, it's not necessarily that you release, right? You release that obligation. But the thing that you have to understand is, if you don't put your happiness first as well, chances are, you know, people are just going to take and take. So be very careful of people taking too much from you, taking your happiness away. So it could be a very indirect something, you know, people don't mean to get something from you to drain your happiness, but because there's no boundaries, people can easily drain your energy. So be very careful of those indirect draining energies. People call it energy vampires. All right, so learn to like just cancel out those destructive energies in your environment and learn to filter. It's all about learning to filter, right? All right, so more cards please. And we also have another intuitive card coming up, and this is like my high priestess, and we have the tiger. Whew. Strong feminine energy I'm picking up for you, my dear Scorpio. And it's not a surprise because I feel like this is all about coming out from your shell. If this has been so familiar and dragging, and quite frankly for some of you, you feel obliged to do this, I think month of May, do not be afraid to let some fun and celebration come in play. Don't need to fear other people being disappointed with this. If you trust your intuition, the only thing that you need to fear is your own power, right? So if you've been so used to being there for other people or letting them have their way, oftentimes like you're observing people having everything they want, or like you're working hard for people to be happy, I feel like with the tiger, you need to trust your intuition when it says, I want to come out, I want to reclaim my power, and I want to have my share of happiness. So there's no need to fear anything except your power. So when that high priestess, that intuition speaks to you like that, you cannot ignore that. You know, you have to unleash your power at some point. You need to reclaim that balance in your life. This time, it's no longer about suppressing it, but rather going with what you feel. And you want to be happy. So there's also a message that says here, every step of the way, since these energies are going to be at play, a lot of changes in your environment, a lot of detaching yourself from people who could be sucking your energy, right? Energy vampires. If you fear, like, is that decision wrong? Is it bad that I think of myself? Is it bad that, you know, people might see me as selfish? Actually, no. Because I feel like for some of you, you've already lost that sense of thinking of yourself, like emotionally and spiritually, your own happiness, right? For lack of better term, happiness or emotional fulfillment. So this month of May, there's a lot about being happy and being you, putting your happiness first. That makes sense. So one more card for my dear Scorpio, please. Already 12 minutes in. So I don't know how long this video is gonna be. So grab your drink, guys. I'm just gonna. Alrighty. But overall, really good energies. And I asked for, well, the spirit gave us 3 cards. I'm so happy though. What did they say about boundaries? This is the octopus. Boundaries. There could be codependency going on, or like people are trying to like control you too much. You know, if you're after a dream and then people are like, oh no, don't do that. You know, be careful about that. People trying to impose control on you. It could be their form of manipulation, even though if they don't intend to do that. But if you're intuitive, you would see, like, hey, maybe this person is trying to make me do what he or she wants. All right, and so you tend to suppress the voice. But again, with the octopus, I'm not saying these are bad people. All I'm saying is that they have good intentions. The mind and the perspective is right, is good. But without healthy boundaries, it could get too much. It could be stepping too much, or like stepping in the line of something. And if you let this people or person, it could be a specific person, step on that line a lot of times repeatedly, you don't know that you're actually letting these people build holes into your healthy boundary. Think of it as you are a cell, okay? A cell. And so you have this membrane covering your cell to not let organisms, you know, infiltrate that healthy cell. But if you let one cell in, and maybe it quite escaped your better judgment, you didn't prepare for it, you could have said to yourself, well, it wouldn't hurt, right? One thing wouldn't hurt. But if you let people do it all the time in the same spot, eventually that wall, that boundary is going to be broken. And then you would come out of that situation feeling lost, feeling vulnerable, feeling like weak. And that's because you let people take advantage of you, somehow taking advantage of you in the same spot over and over. And then next thing you know, you don't have boundaries, you don't have walls. And that's what the octopus is. It clings on that energy, even though the intention is good, or like what this people or person is saying is good. But because there's no line being drawn, you would feel like being with this person or group of people is just draining you down to the core. It's dragging you down. So the question is, when will you set healthy boundaries? It could even mean that this person may not necessarily want to drag you down, but because it's their habit, it's like an old wound or a way or pattern that they do things that they're not necessarily healed. Could be way back in their childhood, all right? And so be very careful how you also express that. This is the nightingale. So with the nightingale, as you see, it's like you want to scream at the top of your lungs, like, I want freedom. But there's a kind of happiness and awareness, again, very the same with happy. It's like you badly want to reclaim your power. Look at the nightingale at the bottom of the globe. Like you want to be in control of your life again. You want to be above this kind of worldly pattern or relationship you are in where it's clinging you too much, where the octopus is, right? It clings on you. It makes you feel so heavy and so grounded. But at the same time, you want to be free. You want to elevate yourself. You want to have that fun. So with the nightingale, this month of May, I feel like there's no holdback in saying that to this people or this person. How you feel, how badly you want to be free as well, how you want to be happy, almost like coming across as a very poetic in a form of a song. And so that's how much you feel about yourself. And that's how much you're going to be happy as well once you sort this octopus energy playing around and this heavy interdependence, right? So once you reclaim your freedom and be an independent soul to be open for a new experience, the nightingale is that kind of energy where you just want to shout to the world how happy you are, right? Communication is key here. Again, happiness is a pursuit. So we have here as well the owl, and I love the owl. This is a very wise energy, an old kind of like the hermit for me. And both of these are air signs, as you see. So it's like, and I also see, just a side message, Scorpio, there's going to be an incoming unforeseen fortune for you guys, be it in spiritual or material form. So be ready to get that success. But there's also a message that says here, if you get that success, or if it's freedom from too much of this energy, octopus, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready where to go. You gotta be ready what to do with your life at that point. Okay? Because I feel like this has been so familiar, and you've been wanting out, you've been wanting a form of change in your rigid routine or life or relationships, that once you are granted that freedom this month of May, some of you, it's like you don't know what to do, you don't know where to begin, and so there's a danger of going back to that old story. So with the owl, if you activate this energy, there's a reason as to why you need to plan ahead. You need to think things through thoroughly. Not only how you're going to achieve the freedom or being happy or following your dream, but also knowing what to do with it when the time happens. So you won't fall back into patterns. If this is not you, then this could be the person you're dealing with or people that you're dealing with. So with the owl, once you have that success and fortune, learn to save some for yourself is what I feel, but also learn to share to those who need it, right? Not in a way where people depend on you or cling on you too much to drain what you have, but knowing the boundaries and knowing what to do with it. All right? So that people involved will not necessarily be cut off in your life like that, because I feel like they do have good intentions, like I said. But how do you manage this without, completely cutting off these people that you also love, if it's family members, if it's friends, but knowing how to approach the situation by laying boundaries, okay? Very good energies. Now we're going to be going now to your tarot. This is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. Additional messages, please. Yep. Four of Cups. There's gonna be that emotional withdrawal. Like, hold up, I'm not satisfied with this. I don't like what's going on. I don't feel like accepting that cup anymore. Let me think about this. There's that kind of energy. That's because you're no longer satisfied with the state of dynamics this maybe before coming in May. And so with the, as you ask for space, right? As you ask for some time out, and as you observe, use your intuition, you're gonna realize, you know, what do you really want from this situation? What do you really deserve? Those are all gonna start coming in, all right? But you need some emotional withdrawal to stabilize your emotions first, because it could be a bit shocking to people and could be shocking to yourself as well. How did I ever get to the point where I'm so drained? Stuff like that. So I do see here 6 of Swords. There's gonna be movement forward, like I mentioned, change in the wind, a change in the course of your direction, but doesn't mean leaving a situation behind. It could just be a way of doing things. You're moving forward from that because it wasn't healthy. It wasn't really satisfying for you. All right, so there's that kind of energy. One more card for my dear Scorpio, please. There's also an energy here of helping someone out. So maybe you're gonna think, well, I'm drained, I don't want to help people for now, I want to think about myself. But once you collected yourself and you realize that boundaries is what's needed, I don't feel like you're gonna cut off the help, but you're gonna be more aware of how much you can do versus if you are overstraining yourself for other people without leaving some of those happy, you know, and effort you're doing in to yourself, right? One more card, please. And then we're gonna be asking for advice from the Guardian Angel Tarot deck for you, my dear Scorpio. So we have the 7 of Wands. Stay firm, hold your ground. Do not let people make you think otherwise of that decision. If you're determined and you have the strength to overcome adversity, no matter how people see you, changing your mind, changing the way you do things, at the end of the day, if you believe in yourself and you believe this is what you need, then you're going to rise above the occasion. You're going to win, all right? You're going to have the achievement, the happiness. Again, there's that kind of energy where all of this are looking so similar, I kid you not. The Nightingale on top of the World, 7 of Wands on top of something. So if you want to be happy, sometimes you have to get rid of obstacles in your way, whether it be people, events, dragging you down, to create some space to hear and follow your dream, you know? So let's get one advice card for you, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. What is your advice for the month of May? I love this. It's all about reclaiming your voice, your power. And we have celebration. Beautiful. I love this. There's going to be a lot of sense of celebration with people that you love, or with, you know, that celebration of conquering something. This says this is a wonderful time in your life. Difficulties fall away, and the light at the end of the tunnel is a star you can wish upon. The timing is right to make long-term plans for a joyful future. Have faith that things are going to turn out beautifully. See? Have faith that this will turn out beautifully. And faith is what's going to glue all of this together. Transitions are not easy, I kid you not. That's why you need to be optimistic about this the whole time. So that is your reading, Scorpio. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be in the lookout still for the weekly love uploads. This is just a bonus reading as my way of thanking you guys. And let me know down in the comment section if you want me to keep doing this more soulful, personal readings. And thank you guys so much. You're amazing. You're beautiful. And I wish you all the best. I'll talk to you soon.